JJ and I have a bone to pick with you.
Yes, sir.
Under no circumstances should you be mowing your own lawn. I walked past Liberty House the other day and I saw you mowing.
Oh, yeah.
Did you just call one of us?
No.
Honest, no, from now on, you call one of us when you need
my
need
neighbor... My
Just imagine him mowing your lawn. Just like that.
No one would ever rob you or anything. You might lose a few customers.
My neighbors take such good care of me, and they want their young fella to mow the lawn. This is about 5 years ago, and this is how times have changed, just like this. The dictionary. Nobody uses a dictionary. A legend is a traditional story, sometimes popularly regarded as historical, but unauthenticated. My source was the Memorial Library digitalized newspapers during the 1890s, and Diane Roran at the Seward Historical Society. And she had found the second version of this in the archives. And then I verified it with Eldon Hostetler's book, the way it was.
Okay.
The difference in the language used 150 years ago. And historians long believe that in 1541, Francisco, I can't say it, Vasquez de Coronado became the first European explorer to reach the Platte River. By the 1890s, historical and archaeological evidence pointed toward central Kansas, but the story lived on in popular culture. However, the Milford, Nebraska legend does indeed cast doubt on those findings.
Interesting. I love it.
And there's one more. There's a lot of fun history in there.
Didn't they also have one of the Oregon Trail bypasses that you talked about?
Yes, and that went through too. Yeah, so I wish I had time to go down there and talk them into doing something about that.
Pat, do you want mask on or off? What do you think?
You keep it on. I think he has to keep it on.
I don't want you to choke on him. That's a good picture, though.
You'll never know
if
he chokes or not.
We got to get a picture of you.
Can you breathe in there?
Like maybe 40%? Yes.
I would.
But I mean, anything for the pod, right?
Maybe leave it on momentarily, but then I think you better take it off.
Anytime you want to talk, you have to put it back on. That's the rule.
Yeah, see?
A little warm, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, that might be the last time we see that mask on for the rest of the day.
But we need your picture. The ghost of the Seward County Independent.
It's like the Phantom of the Opera, just a little less cool.
It's just the most autistic employee with the screen mask on. That's what it is.
Oh, okay. I don't know. So whatever you want.
Let's go through the ghost stories you have, and then I think I'm going to think up something we can do with this.
Isn't that just?
Yeah, it is cool.
So.
Do you have any big Halloween parties this weekend, or?
No, I had a big Halloween sale on Saturday, but it didn't amount to too much. And then I had a to-do to go to yesterday, and it was my niece's wedding shower, so of course they all dressed like in Halloween costume. And then I was excited about going to that, and I thought all my guests were gone.
Mm-hmm.
I left one couple in room 3 locked in the house yesterday.
So now we know who's going to be haunting your house in the future.
Yeah. So I had to text them and say, ooh. And I told the other one I was just too crabby. I wasn't going to make him breakfast. He goes, okay.
Things are depleting at the Liberty House fast. Wow.
Yeah, no. So before we get into the spooky Seward County, you said on the phone the other day you're not a ghost believer.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think I believe in ghosts. And like I said, in my big house and everything, I'm so tired every time I go to bed. I just take my hearing aids out and put them on the shelf, and we all get along fine.
So you could be swarmed by ghosts. You just don't know what's going on.
They leave her alone. She leaves them alone.
I love it.
At that time, in my house where I lived down the street a couple blocks, that was the first time I had a young college girl staying with me. And she moved over to the big old house by herself first. And she wasn't scared, so she was over there in that big old house all by herself. And she was a real quiet, matter-of-fact gal. She didn't carry on and get hysterical, kind of like I do. But she says, Pat, she says, I got home from class yesterday in the afternoon, and as I was walking down the hallway, my TV turned on. And I says, well, welcome to Liberty House. So, am I going to get bleeped here? She said.
We can always bleep you if we need to.
She says, damn it, leave this door alone. This stuff is heavy. And then when she came back up, the door was open. So I don't know.
Oh, my gosh. So it was responsive.
So paid attention
Yeah.
to all of us interlopers, you know.
So what time this was this was
At
midnight?
about midnight.
They got home. They heard somebody walking through the kitchen.
In my little kitchen, but she said it almost sounded like they tipped their head around the corner and said, welcome to Liberty House. A lady's voice. She said, I heard it clear as day.
Had they been drinking at all that?
Well, let's see, probably. We'll never know.
I'm not trying to shoot holes, but that's a compelling enough story. I want to know if there was any substance involved.
And then as the years go by, then another 2 different people in 2 different rooms, and one of them was really hesitant to tell me, and so they didn't say anything right away. But in 2 different rooms and 2 different occasions, the gals have said they've woken up, and there was a lady standing shadowy, kind of by the bed, in a flowered dress. Didn't do anything, but just appeared, and then just kind of faded away and went on her way. And so that makes you take pause.
Were those 2 guests related at all?
No.
And this is separated by time too?
Separated by time.
And oh my.
Yeah.
Wow.
And that is about, and then there was one more, and this one was just maybe 5-8 years ago. And I had a mom and her daughter, and then their grandson, and they all stayed there. And the grandma was walking down the hallway into the room, and the little boy was just laying in bed and nonchalantly said, close the door, Grandma, so the ghost doesn't come in. And she said, well, he's right over there. Just close the door, Grandma, so that the ghost doesn't come in. So, I don't know.
They say kids can see things we can't.
And then...
They're more attuned.
And then the one that just kind of... But here again, this I attribute to people wanting to believe. There was 2 gentlemen that came in the store, a couple of years ago, and they said, we heard that you have a big attic, and we do check these things out all the time. And would it be all right if we go up to the attic? And I said, yes, if no one's in the B&B. I says, folks go up there because they're welcome. And so they went up there, and they were checking around for ghosts, and about 3 minutes later, they came down, and then they left, and they said, thank you, ma'am, and yes, you do have ghosts.
Well, see you later.
So I said, okay, then. And I kept
And no follow-up?
No follow-up.
No email, no.
And they said, but there's no doubt about it. So, and then this is my last story, but I shouldn't tell this story because I can't remember.
We'll fill it in.
I went down and checked it out, and it is indeed true. And in Saline County, there is a headstone. And I can't remember the name. And it is, and this one, we don't film this one. This one is, I shouldn't even tell it. It's Grigson's grave. And on the gravestone, it tells a story. And I can't remember if this was her husband or her brother, but she was standing in front of the wash house outside, and the 2 little kids were there. And they said this. They told this whole story on the gravestone. And she was bent over, washing the clothes down in there. And something struck him wrong, and he took a knife and he chopped her head off, and it rolled into the wash tub, and the little children were watching, and so they buried her in the graveyard.
Whoa.
And that was a true one, so.
That's horrid.
Oh my God.
That is
horrible.
so gruesome.
That's horrible. Yes, you can't believe it when you're reading that.
Little did we, I mean, this is true of anywhere, not just Seward County, but all of these every place has a more sordid past than anyone really knows.
Oh, heavens, yes. It's not all roses and sunshine, let me tell you.
Not wherever humans are involved.
Yeah, but I still don't think so. Even
with all of the...
I think that folks, I would never say that I don't believe in spirits. We don't know.
Correct.
We don't know what we don't know.
Very true. Yes.
Like that lady hearing, not me, but another lady saying, "Welcome to Liberty House."
Yeah.
You could see in her eyes that she wasn't making it up.
Yeah.
And but she was curious, and she was almost a little tiny bit scared.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she was questioning.
You don't sleepwalk, do you?
Heavens no.
That wasn't you?
First thing I thought, I'm like, Pat,
So,
Pat.
when
Always talking about can't remember and stuff. Can't remember this, can't remember that. And
when I'm down,
You weren't
I'm
making
down.
some night muffins?
Yeah. So.
What is the most compelling to me by an order of magnitude is the 2 separate people across time without any connection to each other seeing the same thing.
I know.
That to me that raises that
makes you
the hair stood up on my neck a little bit there, on the back of my neck.
So and yeah, it was two different incidents. Yeah.
Interesting. Have you done any digging into the history to find out who these people might be?
No. One of them is that the 2 possibilities are, one of them is that the mother-in-law of Mrs. Goner, she lived in room 1. When she would travel around, she didn't live with one of her children full time. She would move part of the year with each one of her children. And maybe it's her just wanting to know what the heck we're up to. And then the second one would be Doretta, the only daughter. She lived there for a long, long time, and with Punky. And then the other one, the one we'll never know anything about, is there is a small room up there that is only maybe 8 foot by 10 foot. And that was the maid's quarters.
Mm.
So maybe we'll never know. We'll never know.
I love that. This episode of the Discover Seward County Podcast was brought to you by Hughes Brothers, the Seward County Visitors Bureau, Union Bank and Trust, Pet Source, GBE, and Lincoln Premium Poultry.
Can I be naughty as heck now?
Yeah.
I'll never make a good Republican, will I?
So good.
Is
So
that a
good.
good way to start a Monday morning?
I love it.
But
That was so good, Pat. I love that.
I was kind of counting on that when I said that out loud.